This video is going to be all about stairs. Unlike our previous videos where we covered some of the modular terrain pieces like posts and walls and tiles, here we're going to construct a prop element that will let us go from lower floors to upper floors and vice versa. The stairs fit on a single page featuring the stair treads and the stair body. And then on a second page, we have side rails, which are optional and can slot into the stairs. They're removable to give us some more options. Before we get going, I just want to show we'll be using our cork-backed metal ruler. I've got a pen handy for coloring in the edges. I have my snap blade craft knife and a glue stick for doing assembly. As with a lot of pieces, I focus on doing the scoring first. The stairs are going to fold in alternating directions. And so I'm going to do normal score lines, starting at the bottom and working my way up every other score line. The rest of the scoring is going to be done with reverse scores. And to do that, I'm going to make holes on both ends of the line that I'm going to score on the back of the paper. So to do the scoring, I simply flip over the paper, find those holes so I can line up my ruler and score along that line. And now for convenience, I'm just going to separate the stairs here from the rest of the page as I move on to the other pieces. So for the body of the stairs, we're going to score down the midline each. And we will score along the back of the stairs and the tab that connects the stairs to the body. All right, this last piece here is really just a flat token that can be used for stairs that lead down. So rather than making complex shapes with your tiles to try and accommodate stairs, you can just drop one of these down and it becomes a flat representation of stairs heading down to the next level. Before I start edging or gluing any of these pieces, I'm going to trim around the treads here by folding this in half, and this will give me a quick and easy way to make stairs that line up front to back. Okay, with the cutting done, I'm going to take my pen and color in some of these edges. All right. So for the assembly, I'm going to start with this body piece. And we will get some glue all throughout. I can press this nice and flat. I'm going to attach this tab inside the side walls. If you are using a glue that has a high water content, I would highly recommend letting this rest underneath something heavy and flat, like a stack of books, to make sure that it dries without warping. For each step, I want to do my best to align the top of the stair with the body. And so I'm going to give this a few seconds to dry before I move on to the next step, because I don't want it wiggling out of place while I'm working with things. All right, so for each step, we're going to get some glue on each side tab. And then they're both going to tuck inside the model. I'll see if I can get this displayed here, but I can use the top of the tread and the corner here as a guide to make sure that this is nice and level and that it's coming right to the front of the step. I'm going to repeat on the other side, and you might notice I have to kind of slide this in place. And there's a little triangular texture here that helps guide me as well. And we have it. There are the basic stairs. So you can use that as is. There is plenty of room for if you have a miniature with a base, the base can slip right under this extra space there so that they will stand on the steps. And so the next thing I want to do is take this a step further and install some side railings so we can get a little bit more variety to the steps, how we use them. So these come in pairs. There's enough for 2 stairs here. I'm going to focus on just doing enough for my 1 stair. And in fact, we'll make sure that we get 1 for each side of the stairs. There'll be a left side and a right side, but we're going to do our scoring first. Next step, color in the edges. You can see there I made a little mistake with my cut, and I'm just going to ink that right in, and it really won't be noticeable on the table. Now, before I glue this together, I want to point out that there are 2 triangular teeth that are on the model. And what this is going to do is give us something that will slip into the sides of the stairs. So I want to make sure that we don't get any glue on those pieces there. So to help visualize that, I'm going to add a little bit of color to those teeth. Sometimes when I'm gluing, what I will do is put a sticky note or a little piece of tape over those triangles so that I can be a little more carefree with my gluing. Another thing that I like to do is take a scrap piece of paper and make sure that I can get under that tooth. And when I press down, it's actually leaving that tooth slightly lifted from the rest of the paper. All right, so that finishes up those pieces. Now, normally I would give this some time to dry underneath something heavy and flat to make sure that these pieces set nicely, but for purposes of the video, let's move right on to getting these installed. What you'll find is that the side walls on the stairs can actually fold away from the step. And in doing so, it creates a little gap where we can slot that side railing in. And this allows you to put these stairs on their own heading up with side railings on both sides, or maybe you want it up against a wall, or maybe you want to put multiple stairs side by side to make a wider staircase. And you can go ahead and do that and then just put the railings on the sides that you need them. And that's the stairs.